So you're on surveillance, you see a crime in progress. Do you call the cops? Hi, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. I'm the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, which is premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. That, again, as so often, plays in. This is experience that I've had. Also, for my brothers and sisters in security, this is a question that you have to answer maybe in some places more often than you might think. And it's, you see a crime in progress. Do you call the police? I really have, over the years, kind of honed my answer down to 3 times that I tend to call the police. I'll call the police for some crimes of violence, not all of them. If I see somebody get a smack in the head, but they've handled it well, the problem is de-escalating, they're disengaging, and they're fine, I'm not calling the cops on that. So some crimes of violence I will call. If there's a victim, if there's somebody who needs help, yeah, absolutely. Another time I'll call the police is on some felonies. And again, not all felonies. There are a ton of property crime felonies and things that just not something that needs to be dealt with in the moment. Especially, again, if I'm recording and I have video of the person, I have video of the crime, even if it is a felony, but it's not, no one's getting hurt, it's not urgent, that type, it can all be put together later, then I don't necessarily call the cops on that. Finally, I will say I do call most of the time, and I think pretty much always, if I see a weapon is involved, usually a gun or a knife, I will call the cops on that, because that can turn super serious very, very quickly, and I've seen that happen as well. So if you like those 3 little rules, that may be helpful to you, but you do have to take some other things into consideration, including the needs of your client. What do they need? How does this play into what you're being paid to do? Also consider things like liability. Your liability, maybe even your client's liability. If you see something and it's probably going to come out later, right? You're doing surveillance. You got to write a report. You got to submit the video. It's not like this is going to be hidden away necessarily forever. Somebody else is probably going to find out. Is there any liability and you're not acting? Should you have acted and called the police? A big thing for this and a lot of stuff I do, I say, what's reasonable? Would a reasonable person call the police? If I'm following somebody and they flip a cigarette butt out their car window or a crushed up soda can or something, I am not calling the cops on somebody that's littering. That's not reasonable. So consider what is reasonable in the circumstances that you're involved in and that you're witnessing. Finally, take into consideration the totality of circumstances, including the location, the time of day, those types of things. Some things are more normal at certain locations than other things. So you're at a expressway off-ramp, there's a guy panhandling. He gets angry with one of the people for whatever reason and kind of slaps his palm against the driver's side window. Is this something you call the police for? Well, they're safe in their car, the light changes, they drive on. Nothing's probably going to happen anyways. The totality may be considering, okay, let's think about the next person. If this guy is so drunk right now that he's behaving like that, maybe somebody with their window rolled down is going to be a problem. Do you call or not? I'm not going to call on that, honestly. But it's the totality. It's daylight, cars are moving, people are kind of safe, there are other people around when something happens. The totality. Don't mistake, though, just because other people are around thinking something's going to happen. I've shared with you before, I was watching once a corner store, heavy drugstore, and it's at night. Now, again, the totality, I'm not calling for anything drug-related there. I'm not calling for even small skirmishes or fights, anything like that. But I see a guy come, kind of sneak up, terribly tactically speaking, and he starts squeezing off rounds at another guy on the corner. Everybody scatters. Some people went to the store, some people behind cars. The quote-unquote victim does return fire, so these 2 guys are shooting back and forth at each other before they all run off. I obviously called the police on that. Interesting thing, I was the only one who called the police on that. Not the person running the store behind the counter, not any of the people in the parking lot, not the victim, quote unquote, not the perpetrator. Obviously, this makes sense. But so don't when you calculate these things, sometimes you're the only one who will call. You're the only one who will take action. So take that into consideration as well when you determine whether or not you call the police on something that you see. In the meantime, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.